Have you ever wanted to do something important for a really long time, but you haven't done it? Yep, that's been me. I've actually been procrastinating to make this video for the last 7 years, over 7 years, which is crazy. Hello, my name is John Sifferman. I have been a fitness coach for a little over 18 years now. And a long time ago, I used to make fitness content too. I had YouTube videos going, I had a fitness blog and newsletter, and I got to connect with so many amazing people all around the world, and I was loving every minute of it. And then I had to step away. Our life circumstances changed, family commitments changed, work commitments changed, moved to a new home, new job. My wife and I decided to have 4 kids in 5 years because we love a challenge. And something had to go, and YouTube, unfortunately, was one of those things. And it was the right decision at the time. But ever since then, I've been really missing creating videos. And I've been itching to get back into it. And literally for 7 years now, I've been like, oh, I should get back into that. That was so much fun. And I've been like writing ideas down. I probably have over 1,000 ideas written down on sticky notes and lists, and I have a spreadsheet, and it's everywhere. And I've talked my wife's ear off over and over and over again, like, oh, what if I did this? What if I did that? And she says, that would be great. She's amazing. She is a saint, an angel, so supportive of me. But I'm sure she would never admit it. Well, if I asked her for real, she would admit it. But I'm sure she has gotten very tired of hearing all of my ideas. But she is so supportive. Man, if you guys don't have a wife, find the right one. That's my advice for you. There's my marriage advice. This is not a marriage advice video. And there's probably a lot of other things you should do too before you get married. And somebody's opening the door as I'm filming. They're closing the door now because they don't want to interrupt. And who is that? Hello? They're not speaking. Oh, it is my son coming down with a bag of beef jerky. How can I help you, my son?
Bread, but she's too scared to come down.
Ah, my daughter wants bread, but she's too scared to come down. My son was very brave and came down. That was a perfect case in point. Goodbye, my son. Make it a great day. So where was I? So my wife is a saint. That's where I was. But I've been wanting to get back to YouTube for so long. And the other day I was thinking about how, what is going on here? It's been 7 years that I've been putting this off, which is ridiculous. And so I was thinking, what is happening? And I literally got a piece of paper out because I still write things down. It's a really great thing to write things down. Helps me process at least. Sorry if I hit the mic. And I started writing down, what are all the reasons or excuses or things I'm afraid of that I haven't been getting back into it. And I came up with 37 things that I wrote down. All these reasons why I haven't been making YouTube videos like I used to. And some of them were somewhat legitimate, like reasons, excuses. I do have a lot less time available now than I did 10 years ago. And then some of the other reasons were borderline ridiculous. One of them was sometimes I'll think, oh, I could film, I have a video idea. And then I realize, oh, I'm way overdue for a haircut, like I am this week. My hair, I don't know if you're seeing this madness, but I am probably at least a week overdue for a haircut. And there have been times where I've thought, oh, I'm not going to film because I just don't look my best. And that is so silly and ridiculous, but I've had that thought. And at the time, usually I realize that's kind of ridiculous, but still, I haven't filmed those videos. And so I made the list of 37 things. I'm not going to share all of them with you, but I wanted to share some of them with you in hopes that maybe I'll feel like I'm not alone in the world, and maybe you'll feel like you're not alone if you have ridiculous thoughts like I do. But mainly, I wanted to get to the end of the video, which is where I'm going to share a challenge that I'm giving myself that officially starts today, the day that I'm publishing this video, which is actually this upcoming Tuesday. It's Saturday today when I'm filming, so I don't have much time. But I'm giving myself a 90-day challenge, and I wanted to invite you to challenge yourself to do something that's important to you. Doesn't have to be the same challenge as mine. But I thought, if we're going to do something hard, let's do it together. So what have been the main reasons why I've been procrastinating for so long on this in particular? The top ones off the top of my head were fear of failure, fear of success, burnout, legit burnout in my life, and then logistical challenges just related to creating videos. And then some more identity, existential type questions or barriers or things that have been I've been resistant to. So first one, fear of failure, very common. I am one of those people who doesn't like to start something that I don't finish. Even if I start a really lousy movie, I feel like I should probably finish it. And there have been a few times in my life where like, okay, this is really bad, I'm just turning this off. But even if it's like a mediocre movie, if I start it, I'm like, okay, I gotta see it through. And especially when it's something important and I'm publicly accountable to it, quitting just isn't in my vocabulary. Like, that really bothers me. And so I don't want to start something that I'm not sure if I can see it through to completion. And I don't know if that resonates with you at all, because a lot of people probably feel that way about, I don't know, fitness goals or career goals or education goals or relationship stuff, or like there's this fear of the unknown, and fear of failure is a super common one. But interestingly, when I was digging into this, I wasn't really afraid of failing as much as I am, as this is not a past tense thing. I still have these fears. I have not overcome any of this stuff. I'm still afraid of failing. I was more afraid of succeeding. And because I love this so much, I loved it back in the day, and I was pretty successful with it when I was back. I mean, I've made a couple hundred videos, and I've written several hundred fitness articles for my site and for many other websites and magazines. And success, it feels good. And I'm just in a season of my life, like I mentioned earlier, where I have a lot more responsibilities now than I used to. I'm trying to be a good husband, good father, good leader in my community, at work, and in my church, and all the other areas that God has placed me into. And there's just not a lot of free time. If I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. And I'm kind of a recovering perfectionist, and I don't want to do something half-hearted. I want to do it well. And so I'm going to try to succeed if I'm going to make YouTube videos or write fitness articles. And that success has been something I'm nervous about, because if I start doing really well again, it's like I'm going to want to put more time and effort into it. And how is that going to affect the rest of my life? How is that going to affect my family? Like, I already feel, there's maybe me being a little too vulnerable for YouTube, but here goes nothing. I already feel like I am not living up to my potential in some of these things that are a much higher priority. Like, I have room for improvement in being a husband, and I could be such a better father if I did X, Y, and Z. And if I'm already not living up to my own expectations in some of these areas that are higher priorities, like, what business do I have making a YouTube video, even if it's a really good thing? And I think it is a good thing. I think I have a good desire, like wanting to help people with their health and fitness. That's a good desire. But if I'm let's maybe use a less personal example. If I have to chronically sleep deprive myself and destroy my health to help other people with their health, like, what am I doing? Who am I kidding? Like, that doesn't make any sense for many reasons. And so the fear of success has been really holding me back. Then there's like the more hard reality stuff. Like, so I mentioned burnout. Probably the last 10 years of my life, I've gone through different seasons of burnout. Some of those have lasted a few days. Some of those has lasted years, where I've been perpetually burned out, sleep deprived, overworked, trying to do too much, overwhelmed, in survival mode, barely keeping up. And yeah, there've been a couple of times where it's been like years of that. It's been a lot better the last couple of years. I've had a few months here and there. But that is really hard. And if you're burned out, you're just not in a good place, and you're not able to think clearly when you're burned out. And knowing that I've had these cycles, these up and down cycles, it's like, again, I don't want to commit to something if I know that I'm just not going to have the energy or the attention span or the ability to concentrate and put out something helpful to the world and help people. And so that's more of one of the harsh realities. Alongside that is just the logistical side of doing my goal. Like, you know, if it was a fitness goal, it's like there's logistics involved. You got to plan, you got to prepare, you got to exercise, you got to, you know, do all this stuff. With making videos, like, you know, I don't know if you can tell by the cinematography, but I don't have a full production crew. It's still me. I'm the camera guy. I don't know. This is a big surprise. You probably thought that I had a professional cameraman holding this the whole time. But it takes a little bit of work to make a video. And I also don't have a full-time editor yet. So I'm the editing guy. And so there's just a lot of logistics involved. I'm filming here at home where I've got a family upstairs where it's just nonstop activity here in the kingdom of Sifferdom. It's like a whole ecosystem. It does sleep, but it's just constantly on the go, move, move, move. And so it's difficult to step away. And basically, I don't have a system for creating videos that works or feels like it works for our lifestyle. And so that's been something holding me back. Like, how am I going to do this? I have no idea. I literally have no idea how I could make YouTube videos. But I'm going to find out, and we'll get to that more in a little bit. But some of the bigger issues that have also been holding me back is, like, even though I've been a fitness coach for over 18 years, they call it imposter syndrome, which to me sounds so cliche and it sounds so silly. Like, why am I feeling this way? But I have imposter syndrome because the more I learn, the more I realize how little I know. And I know a lot of people, other professionals, who know way more and are way more talented and skilled and good looking than I am. Not as good looking as you, though. And so I've felt imposter syndrome. Like, who am I to give people advice? And am I just going to be adding to the noise? Just these thoughts that we have. Like, some of them are legit, some of them are ridiculous. And then another piece of it is like, I want to incorporate some of my faith into my content because it's an integral part of my life, of who I am. It's my biggest value. It's tied in with my purpose and my beliefs and my priorities. And I can't imagine life without it. But I don't want to shove my religion down people's throats. I want to be respectful. Obviously, I want to be honoring to God, my Creator and my Savior. And so that's been another tension point because I don't want to lead people astray, and I don't want to push people away. I want to talk to people though. Like, I want to ask good questions, and I want to listen, and I want to learn, and I want to share some things that I've learned. And so that's another piece of this that has been holding me back because I don't want to start something I can't finish, and I want to talk about the important stuff in life, not just the nuts and bolts. The nuts and bolts are important. Like, you ask me a technical fitness question and I will talk your ear off for longer than you were prepared for, probably. Like, how do you stabilize your shoulder when you're doing a pull-up? I could tell you all about that and probably bore you to death. But I want to get into the really meaty stuff of life. Like, why are we here? And like, why bother training at all? And like, what should our goals be? Like, what should our priorities be? Like, I have lots of opinions, like I'm sure you do, like we all do, and not that my opinions are better than anybody else's, but I want to talk to people about it because it's fascinating to me, and I love hearing new perspectives that I haven't thought of before. But that's been that's a whole other area of this that's been holding me back. And so all of these things are what Stephen Pressfield, the author of The War of Art, he calls it resistance. Resistance is that little voice that tells you not to do that thing that you know you should or you really want to, or is your destiny or your calling. That thing that is so hard, but you feel like you really ought to do it. And I've been giving into resistance for 7 years now. And at least for the next 90 days, and here's that challenge I was talking about, at least for the next 90 days, I'm going to stop giving into resistance. And so I made myself an offer that I can't refuse. And if I don't succeed in this challenge, my wife is going to kill me. She won't really kill me. I don't even know if she'll be disappointed. She's amazing. My wife, I can't sing enough praises about her. You guys got to get yourself an amazing woman. If you're not married, it is second best decision I've ever made in my life. And wow, but that's a rabbit trail. So this commitment I made, this past week when I was writing my list of 37 reasons why I haven't done this, I was thinking, like, I really don't know if I can publish YouTube videos on a regular basis. And saying that out loud right now, it's kind of hilarious. I don't know. That's just funny to me that I have these thoughts, but it's true. Like, I really don't know if I can even do that, if I can fit that into my life in a sustainable way. But I believe it's possible. And so I was hanging out with a friend of mine the other night. I won't say who he is. Some of you would probably know him. But we were in the sauna and I was like, man, I could really use some help. Could you hold me accountable to something? And he said, yeah, sure, hit me up. And I was like, Okay. I've been talking about making fitness content again for a long time, and I really want to do it, but I don't know if I can do it or not, but I have to know. I have to figure out if I can do this or not. So if I write you a check for a significant amount of money, will you give me your word that you will cash that check if I do not publish at least 10 YouTube videos by the end of June, June 30th at midnight Eastern time? I said, will you give me your word that you'll cash that check if I do not make 10 videos by then? And he said, yeah, I'll do that. And so thank you, my friend. I don't know if you're watching this, but I appreciate you. And just knowing that he is going to do that and he meant it is all the motivation I need to make sure that I follow through with this commitment. Because while the amount of money, it wouldn't like devastate us, we would feel it. And I would feel like I'm letting my family down if I let that happen. And so mark my words, unless we have a major catastrophe like a death in the family or I get cancer or something like that, in which case my friend said he would give me some grace. But unless there's like some major catastrophic event in my life, I am going to make a way to make 10 YouTube videos, at least for the next 90 days. And then afterwards, I'm going to assess, did this go well or not? Was I killing myself to try and keep this commitment? Did I totally ruin my health? Did I neglect my family and some of the other more important responsibilities in order to make this happen? And if so, I might make the hard choice to let it go. And you know what? YouTube just isn't for me, at least not right now in this season of my life. But then I'll know. And I think I'll be able to have peace about it. And until I know that, it's going to be bothering me. And so I'm not making a commitment for longer than 90 days, but I am all in for the next 90 days. And so I'm here for you. I'm going to be creating some stuff. Again, I got a bazillion ideas, but I'm here for you for the next 90 days. Anything that I can do to help you with your health, your fitness, or anything else, I would love to support you on your journey. And this is where you come in. So maybe there's something you've been thinking about doing for a long time. You probably already know what it is. You've been thinking about it during this video, and for whatever reason, you haven't done it. Maybe for some of the same reasons I shared, maybe for different reasons, but you are ready to make a change and to make a commitment like I am. And if you'd like to, then let's do it. Like, let's do it together. Like, I'm going to be doing something hard for a few months, and it is going to be hard, for sure. And if you'd like to do something hard with me, then the more the merrier. I would love that. And so I'm in if you're in. And if you want to share it with me, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. This doesn't have to be fitness related or YouTube related. It could be anything. Like, it's that thing that you've been putting off. You know, maybe it's a career goal or an education goal or a relationship that you want to mend, or just something hard. Anything. What are the reasons why you've been putting that off? I would love to know. Maybe there's some of the same ones I have, maybe not, but love to hear from you. If you watch this whole video, man, you're the man. Thank you. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you. I'm making these videos not for me so much as for you. And if there's anything I can do to help you, I'm here. So thank you, and you will see me in the next video. I don't know if I'll see you. You're going to have to let me know or show me where I can watch your stuff, but I'll see you in the next video.